Good morning, Internet, or afternoon, or evening, or middle of the night, or whatever time of day or night it may happen to be wherever you are right now. My name is SJ, and instead of really talking to you about something, I would like to ask you to do something. So, you know that person who you really look up to, who you really admire, and you think that the things they do are super cool, and they inspire you to be a better person, and you look up to them? Go tell them. Go tell them right now how awesome you think they are. Because odds are, they don't know. People who do cool things rarely realize how cool they are to other people. Because it just becomes ordinary after a while. Like, occasionally I get people coming up to me and saying, wow, it's so cool that you donate blood so much. And I do. I went and gave blood earlier today. And I'm just like, well, yeah, of course I give blood. It's just a thing that I do. But, it makes me sit down and think about it, that, you know what, yeah, it is pretty cool that I do that. That's a neat thing. And I have every right to be proud of that. And sometimes it takes somebody else coming up to you and telling you how exceptional what you're doing is for you to even begin to realize that, yeah, you actually are really exceptional, and you're really cool, and the things that you do are really cool, and they inspire other people, and they make them think and feel in different and better ways. So, if you have somebody you look up to, if there is something that someone does that you think is just the coolest thing, go tell them. Because if they're like me, they don't realize. They don't... Oh my god, is that a spider? I'm sorry, there was a tiny spider on my bed, and it really distracted me for a second. Shit. Right, so... if there's somebody that you look up to, say so. Be that weird friend who just comes up out of nowhere and is like, you are super cool, and I like these things about you, and it blows me away how cool you are without even realizing it. Because that, honestly, is one of the best things to hear from another person. And if you do that, I'm not saying necessarily that other people will come up to you and say the same thing, but the person that you say it to is much more likely to pass that on to somebody else. And I think we could all use a little more positive reinforcement in our lives. And honestly, I think that everybody looks up to someone that they know. Even if it's just, this person I know goes rock climbing a lot. And I really look up to that as something that I wish I could do, and that I think is really cool, but I've just never, actually put any effort into it. So I think it's really cool when people put in that kind of effort. And I try to, every once in a while, tell people these things. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be anything momentous. It can just be like, hey, stranger on Tumblr who I barely know, I really like your art. And it makes me want to draw things, or write things, or it is really cool, and I like it, and I'm impressed by it. That kind of feedback, to get it from another person, just is one of the best feelings, I think. And it really makes you feel worthwhile. Not only receiving it, but also giving it, and seeing how well other people react to it. Because, it's nice to make other people happy. It certainly, for me at least, it makes me feel a lot better about myself as a human being when I can make other people feel happier. It's why I give blood. It's why I always listen when my friends come to me with issues that they may have. Um, it's why I'm always open for people to talk about their problems. Um, because I genuinely like making people feel better. I like making people happy. I like doing whatever I can to improve another human being's life. Because in my opinion, that's what human beings are for, is helping out other human beings. Um, Even if you just look at it in an evolutionary sense, it's kind of like we're here to make sure the rest of us keep going. Um, and I think that's an important thing for people to remember from time to time, even if it's in a kind of roundabout way of just telling someone that you think they're cool. And it's a pity that in society today, randomly complimenting people has become kind of this weird, awkward tangle of social interaction that we feel really uncomfortable telling even people who we know well the things that we like about them. Um, you know, especially for if you're a dude and you want to tell a woman um, something that you like about her, that's or the other way around. Also, if you're a woman and you want to tell a dude something that you like about him, it can feel like stepping on thin ice. It can feel like, what if they take it the wrong way and I start something that I don't want to start? Don't be afraid of other people, especially not people who you already know care about you. Because odds are, if there is a misunderstanding, all you have to do is explain, and it'll clear right up. I If your friends completely desert you because of one little misunderstanding on the subject of whether or not you're friends or something more, um, they were probably not great friends anyway, and it was bound to happen eventually. Better that you get it out of the way now and find people who are healthier to be around. Um, that being said, I guess that's really all I had to say. Um, was just go out there and be nice to somebody. Because me personally, nothing makes me want to be nice to people more than somebody else being nice to me. There was this one time, this is my favorite faith and humanity story, um, where I was out getting dinner or something, uh, and I was like $1 short on my credit card, and it got declined, and I was like freaking out because I didn't know what I was gonna do. Um, and the lady behind me in line was just like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll pay for her." Um, and just the nonchalance with which she said it, and the complete willingness she had to just pick up a stranger's bill for no reason other than that stranger was kind of in distress about it. That convinced me that if I was ever in that woman's position, I was going to do what she did. Um, just for no other reason than that it's a great thing to do. And it really made a huge, huge difference to me, even if it wasn't a big deal for her. And I think the same thing goes for paying other people compliments. You know, saying what you like about another person or what you admire about them. Because it's not difficult for you to just say something that you think is true. You can come up to somebody, you could come up to me and say, "SJ, your shirt looks like a disco ball, that's awesome." And I'll be like, "Oh, well, thank you," on the outside. On the inside, I'll be going, "That's really great. I was nervous about wearing this shirt because it's covered in sequins, and that's not what normal people wear. But when someone comes up to me and says, you know, I like that shirt, it's really cool, it not only makes me feel like, yeah, this shirt is really cool, but also that other people are not out to get me. And that can be an easy thing to think, especially when you hang out on the internet as much as I do, and you see horror stories about the troubles that other people have to face, about discrimination and bullying and just all kinds of horrific things that human beings do to each other, it can be really difficult to have faith that the majority of people are reasonable human beings, and are not there to hurt anybody. So I guess basically my aim in doing this, in encouraging all of you to go out there and be nice to somebody today, is that I get so tired of seeing faith in humanity restored posts. Because I don't want to have to restore my faith in humanity every 5 days. I want to have faith in humanity as a solid constant in my life. And if someone does something shitty, to have that be, wow, that person's really shitty, instead of, human beings are so shitty. That's what I want life to be like. Not just for me, but for the majority of people. I want us to be able to believe in each other, and to have some modicum of trust for each other, because overall, we're all just trying to survive. We're all just trying to make a life for ourselves in this insanely complicated world. And the majority of us are not out to hurt each other. The majority of us are stupid and inexperienced, and we don't understand where other people are coming from. And that leads us to do stupid and hurtful things without realizing it. Nonetheless, I think humanity is an amazing thing. I think that people are just incredible. When you think that every single stranger you see on the street or at school or in your restaurant, every one of those people has a life and a story, and they have fears and loves and hopes. They have things that scare them. They have things that they can't handle on their own. Every single person on Earth is vulnerable. And so, every single person on Earth occasionally needs someone to tell them that they are impressive, that they are incredible. Because we're all incredible, and it's easy to forget that we are. Because if everybody else is also incredible, as the Pixar movie said, when everyone's super, no one will be. So we don't realize it, how amazing we are. But we are amazing. You are amazing. And we need to be able to remember that. And we need to be able to tell each other that. And we need to not be afraid of being kind to other people. So when this video is over, as it shortly will be, by email, or by Tumblr, or by phone, or text, or in person, find someone you care about, find someone you admire, and tell them what they mean to you. Because I guarantee you will make their day, week, month, life just that much better. And I guarantee that, well, I can't guarantee, but I hope that it will make your life better too. This is SJ, signing off.